folks, and welcome back here to Flexline Productions as we continue to bring you coverage of the 30th Annual City of Mobile Championships. We're in our first round, and now we're on the back nine, and once again, I am Dustin, Mouret, and once again joining me, JC Rohe. How's it going, sir?
It's going great.
Indeed, we want to give a big shout out to all the sponsors you see here on the screen. We'll be hearing more from them throughout the coverage. Definitely great to get that support for such a great event. As we can see, our front nine scores here.
Yeah, Matt off to a very hot start, 6 down. Jake Brown not too far behind him. Andrew, Marwede, and Cameron Colglazier come up a little short on the front, but they're ones that can definitely connect on the back end.
Absolutely, and this is a pretty attackable hole to kick off your back nine.
Yeah, hole 10, par 3, 311 feet. You really just don't want this to leak left. The miss is right, but you're really just going to take a mid-range, throw it down the middle with a little fade at the end. Maybe even putter if you're feeling aggressive.
Yeah, as you said, you just don't want to drift left because if you do, you go into kind of this ditch area and it gets very hard to scramble from there.
Yeah, it's worth noting that the water in the ditch to the left is not out of bounds. It's played casual at this event.
But it might as well be because you're wasting a stroke probably just getting back to the fairway. So kind of natural OB in that regard as we see the first shot come up a little bit short. But heck, for Jake Brown, he probably still makes that putt.
For sure. He didn't catch the front nine coverage. Go back and watch it. He was killing it on the green.
And unfortunately, Cam has found that very left wood line we were talking about.
Yeah, hopefully they didn't leak too far down in there, but we'll have to see.
And this is Matt attacking with the pine, a little slightly overstable mid-range. And he loves it.
Yeah, this time not finding any pines, just finding the green, so should be an easy putt for him.
Matt just needs to sit down.
Stays on the edge. It'll be a little obstructed uphill putt, but you definitely don't want that miss.
Yeah, because then you wind up like this.
The straight line thing or to the side?
And what they're discussing here is where does he take it, because
There's
it's not OB.
available in line with the basket.
Yeah, as they're discussing, you do take the disc in line with the basket through the disc, take the lie in line with the basket through the disc, and that makes it even more difficult because you have to get on the left side of that water.
Basically, you have to take the first available lie behind your disc because it's not OB. So just basically has to pitch out.
Right, and as you said, he might as well have been OB and just gone from there. But this gives him a little bit better of a look. Just pitches it up for his bogey.
And here is Jake Brown. And this is a risky putt because if you do miss and air it, you could roll.
Oh, man, I really thought he was going to connect on that.
At this point, we all did. Again, like, go look at the front nine. The man felt like he just couldn't miss, but that was definitely a lengthy bid he had there. And this is Marwede again, obstructed putt.
Yeah, stays on this side of the water. It's not quite able to fully extend through the gap and leaks on the left.
Yeah, I will say Marwede just felt a little bit off on putting, this round so far. Definitely not what we expected considering how well known he is for his putting game. Just felt a touch off at times this first day. Matt will connect there to go 7 down through 10. So he is having just the type of round you want, like perfect pace.
Yeah, it's basically a walk in the park to him right now. Just playing a practice round for him because this is the course that he typically hits, practicing for tour.
Yeah, it's probably, undoubtedly a top 3 course in the state of Alabama. Where you put it is kind of personal opinion, I guess, from that point. But designed by the same guy who designed Parc des Familles out in New Orleans.
W.R. Jackson and IDDC.
Yeah, a lot of those big courses that are so nice here in the Southeast.
And this actually was his 100th design course as well. So kind of a cool little thing we've got in our backyard here.
I believe he did Parc des Familles right after this one. So here we go, hole 11.
Yeah, hole 11, par 4. This is a very attackable par 4, but a scary one to attack. You've got this water carry probably 250 foot after your shot lets go of your hand.
Don't hit me, bro.
we had a spotter on this hole who was very animated. Matt giving this one a run and pushes it a little deep.
Very deep.
Definitely the miss you want to have, though, if you're going to attack this. Most players, if they're scared of the water, which I am, I'll just throw a putter out there and go placement.
It's just such an easy birdie if you just lay up off the tee, and that's what a lot of people choose to do, as you said. And I imagine a lot of these people will be doing just that. As you see Jake Brown go for that exact play you're referring to. It really also comes down to the wind on the day. Like, you know, if the winds are down, you'll see more people go for it, but if it's at all breezy, usually not going to happen.
Yeah, this is a play I don't normally see. Just with that high or that low ceiling there, that tends to be the end result. You don't really get to get as much distance as you do with like a backhand putter shot.
And Cam not looking to go for this, throwing an alpaca off the tee. Just setting up for the approach for birdie.
Today, playing like shit.
Little side commentary there for you.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, the basket almost wishes it had a helmet in that situation.
Inches from eagle there. Jake playing this very nicely. You want to get it over land as fast as possible, have it fade in. Should be a no-worry birdie there.
And Jake did it very well, and Cam trying to do the same exact thing, basically.
Pushes it a little deeper. Should still be a pretty routine putt.
And this is not Bear Grylls. This is indeed MattyO, and he is in the wilderness because he launched a missile off the tee, and it went way deep.
Yeah, he's only like 50 foot out from the basket, but no look just from how rough it is.
Yeah, we spent a good few seconds there trying to find a gap he could just punch through to get up there, and eventually we did find one, so he's going to be able to still get his birdie. So no harm, no foul off the tee shot. Great putt there from Marwede to grab his bird.
Yeah, it pushed a little long with that run he gave it, but he executed that well.
As you can see the background, there was like a crazy Easter egg hunt slash I don't know what going on in the background, so a little bit distracting at times for the players.
Yeah, it is worth noting that this is a public park. The course, you know, is kind of separated from that, but there's still a splash pad, and as you see, this event going on as well.
Another birdie there for Jake Brown, puts in the 6 under, so still just one off of MattyO, but that'll change here in just a second.
Or will it?
I mean, you do see. Okay, so this is funny. Matt didn't realize he didn't put out yet. So me as his caddy had to say, "Hey Matt, you gonna finish the hole?" And he's like, "Oh my bad, dude."
I was blown away by the fender.
He said he wanted to go hunt some Easter eggs.
Yeah, I guess so, dude.
That's what I'm here for. I just want to see how far away you'd walk.
That is actually what happened. I was just waiting to see how far he'd go, and I was like, "Hey man, come back."
Oh, as we move on to hole 12, par 3, a shorter one on the course. You're really just trying to take a putter and throw it down the middle. The main goal to this is just distance control, and you don't want to push it too long as you have this slope back here. Matt goes a little long, but shouldn't be any trouble for him. Doesn't push it too deep.
Yeah, it's kind of one of his favorite throwing putters there, a Warden that he puts down there nicely.
Yeah, that was a favorite for him back in the day, too, when he was originally with Latitude.
Correct.
Jake puts this up there nicely, plays into the bank, and that'll be a tap-in.
Ooh, and that one is a little bit of trouble there, but might still have a long bit at it.
Yeah, it came out with a little wobble. Some release issues, I guess, maybe.
Some stability issues with that clothing rack there on the left-hand side. It's just so unstable. Get to Cam here. I think this is an alpaca again.
He's able to concentrate despite the understability of the situation and gets up there no problem.
Yeah, flat that rack had about a -5 turn rating.
So still a long look for Marwede here, but some danger behind the basket with the drop-off, similar to the drive.
I mean, he's getting closer to hitting it from range.
He wasn't scared of that putt by any means. As Matt taps in the birdie.
Yeah, but as you look in the background, we got Joel Freeman and someone sending someone a message.
He was telling Matt, good birdie.
Yes, that's exactly what he was doing. As yeah, Joel Freeman was another guy that was at this event. Again, had a couple of touring pros come through because it was like right, I think it's between Texas State's and Music City Open, and this was kind of on the way up to Tennessee for a lot of these players. So they stopped by and played one of our A-tiers here in Mobile, and it was great to have them.
And now a word from our sponsors. Saraland Pharmacy and Disc Golf Store can provide you everything you need to enhance your game. Check out their wide variety of discs and disc golf accessories in store. New products are also posted regularly on their Facebook page. All right, and now we have hole 13. It's a par 3, dogleg right. You're throwing forehand or backhand turnover. Most of these guys are probably going to throw forehand. There's a ditch down the middle that can catch some skips, so you really just want to get there all air and throw into the sand.
MattyO going enforcer here off the tee. Just looking to flex it, but it's caught up on the corner. And that's a dicey situation to deal over there.
Yeah, the miss is definitely left on this hole. Where Matt's at is actually over back towards hole 12's basket, and there's a wall of trees dividing the two fairways. Jake missing a little left, but kicks right.
And then Matt are about to be neighbors in a second here.
Yeah, he told Matt, good, that's a good spot.
This is, I think, Cam throwing defender. Overstable.
Probably just trying to throw it pretty smooth. Also goes.
I mean, what is over there? It's just sucking every disc over there. Marwede is the last man standing, JC. Can someone make it?
Yeah, you wouldn't expect this hole to give them that much trouble, but catches a little bit of scrubbage, but that pushed around. That's a better result than the other three.
Yeah, you usually don't see this many players get caught up on this corner. Definitely a tough situation. Not a bad out there, though, from Jake Brown.
Yeah, well within his range for sure. And with a pretty unconventional shot, it's the second forehand roller we've seen from him in this round.
Mm-hmm.
Puts it out there. Should be a long look as well to save the par.
And wait till you see this, dude. Cam is being creative here. He sees a gap in the sky.
Yeah.
Oh, boy! Heart. Imagine that, man. I know that you can't know this if you haven't played this course, but that was incredible.
And Andrew didn't leak inside, but he still unable to connect from long range. That was a pretty lengthy putt, though. Not one you really expect him to hit.
There it is. MattyO from range connecting. And that's when he starts getting really scary on the scoreboard.
Well, when he hits the skip hop,
Yeah.
I feel like it's patented for him after he knows the putt's going in.
Yeah. Speaking of putts that you usually know are going in, here's Jake Brown, who had a heck of a front nine. See if he keeps it up here on the back half of the course. And, of course, he does.
Oh, yeah. He knew that one was in as well.
Such a good putter, man. I was really impressed by this guy throughout the tournament.
Those are two incredible par saves as well.
Mm-hmm.
And assuming Cam taps in this 10-footer, 3 incredible par saves.
Absolutely. Not the par frame that we expected, but it's the one that we got.
Yeah, like I said, that's all the par 3s out here you want to attack and get. It moves us into hole 14. It's a par 4. Arguably one of the tougher holes on the course. 598 feet. You really want to throw this shot either deep off the tee or right, setting yourself up for a forehand through either gaps. either a flexi forehand or kind of a hyzer flip.
And Matt here with an orbit grace, looking to try to have it flip up and then stable out at the end of the flight.
And he pushes it to that the longer gap. That'll be setting up for a flex forehand from where he's at.
And that may have looked nice and easy, but this is, as you said, a very difficult tee shot. It's very tight. It's a little more open than it has been in previous years, but still a challenging hole.
I feel like Jake slipped a little bit off the tee, but it tracks great down that right gap, pushes into the middle, and he'll have a pretty easy hyzer forehand from there. So far, these guys are making this look easier than it is.
Yeah, Cam getting aggressive here with an Emperor.
So that's an interesting play. I know those are not the most stable discs, but he might have pushed all the way into the rough deep.
We'll see the lone forehand here from Marwede.
Perfectly placed.
Yep, in that right lane, so we'll have another forehand up here to the green. Man's got a snappy forehand. Look at that.
Yeah, the power on that to go all hyzer to the basket from there is pretty crazy. It kind of has like the opportunity to flex, but from that distance, he was probably 370, 380 to the basket.
Yeah. I know he likes, I think his forehand fairway driver of choice, I believe, is the Raptor.
Okay.
So very likely it was that, but I know he also throws Hurricanes as like his distance driver. Being with D.G.A, you kind of get to have some discraft holes in your bag. And so this is Cam trying to debate what he wants to do here. Looks like he has chosen to go with this defender, try to flex a forehand.
Yeah, regardless of the disc, he's probably throwing the same shot. It's just whatever he feels is going to come back out.
Yes, sir. Great shot.
Hits the gap well. That's a circle 2 look.
Felon here for Matt. And gets caught up a little bit early, unfortunately.
You see here, he's got that tree directly to his right. Could play with it a little bit, having to swing it a little wider. But should be a good look.
Matt trying to see if he can fit one through the pines here. And he does catch the right side. Another beautiful putt for Matt here on the back half of the course.
And he is just hitting them from everywhere.
He's already 10 under, and we still got several holes left to play. He's having a heck of a round.
So Jake is human. We just found out. Unfortunately, not able to connect on that putt.
Unfortunately, telling the disc to get up verbally after it's already left your hand does not have an impact on the flight. But he will get the par at least, which, I mean, again, this is a very difficult hole.
Andrew making it look really easy with that tap-in birdie, though.
Oh, yeah. Two beautiful forehands to grab that one from him.
And that'll move us into hole 15. Hole 15's got 2 gaps off the tee, forehand or backhand. You really just want to place a disc to this middle cut right here to give yourself the option again as forehand or backhand. You really don't have to push this hole too far off the tee, but you can get aggressive with a turnover backhand on the left gap.
It's like a tighter, shorter hole 4, basically.
Right, yeah, and Matt just not hitting the gap. He's going to have a pretty difficult up and down just to even save par from over there on the right side.
Yeah, this is another very difficult tee shot on the course. But Marwede laces it with the forehand. That's way down there.
Yeah, most shots don't get that far down there. You normally see a tree hit before then, but that's impressive. Just a little inside from Jake, but sneaks through to a good position.
At least he's going to have an open lane to approach the basket from, so not too shabby at all.
also inside for Cam, but does not get the sneaky gap as Jake hit. So Matt able to find these open trails between the fairways.
No!
I assume he loved the shot and just an unfortunate kick there.
Yeah, he was throwing like a backhand turnover with a maiden, just letting it kind of glide into this left lane, but it just got caught up before it could completely come out. And nice playing a little bit of army golf here.
Yeah, left, right. You can see Jake's position here. He's able to throw that backhand hyzer, but just doesn't quite get it right enough. It gets pretty sharp the further back you get, so it's a pretty usual miss.
That was Matt with a flip-up claymore here to approach the green.
Yeah, perfect patent pending shot just to get within 20. That'll save the bogey.
This is Marwede finally throwing 2.
God, he leaks his a little right.
And catches a couple of different trees there to slow him down from getting to the green for an easy birdie.
Jake up the throw real quick just to get a nice easy par. And I believe we missed Cam's second shot, but this is him throwing 3 here. Able to give it a decent bid, but doesn't connect.
And this is Marwede with a long birdie bid after getting caught up on the approach. And he finally connects, man. He has been all over the basket, and now he finally sinks one.
That's got to feel good.
And I definitely expect, him to be able to hit those. He's made a reputation for himself being a deadly circle 2 putter. And that is Matt's first bogey of the event. See the rest of the card tap out here.
Yeah, I bet Jake wouldn't expect to take a stroke on him with a par there, but I'm sure he's happy to do so. Now let's take a break from the action to shout out one of our sponsors, A&J Roofing and Construction Services, a local roofing contractor. A&J can get you the roof you want, shingle or metal, while exceeding building codes. Check them out for a free inspection. That bumps us into hole 16. Pretty easy par 3, probably the easiest hole in the back 9. 260 feet, you're really just trying to take a putter and throw it dead straight, miss these trees on the right here, and slide up to the basket. It's a pretty fast green, so you really want to keep the height low.
The only real problem people run into is this patch of trees on the right-hand side of the fairway. Sometimes you're just going to get caught up there just as it happens to him. I promise that was not a jinx. I am in the future.
Yeah.
But outside of that, pretty straightforward, as you said.
Yeah, sometimes you'll see some shots actually leak around the right side. Also not calling things.
What is this?
From the future.
Which you really aren't, because you aren't here. I was here, so I could have tried the fib, but not you. That's impressive.
And playing it the correct way, throwing it down the middle. It comes up a little short and slides up to the basket.
I believe that was one of his EB7 putters, not the Penrose. I can't remember what the other one is.
The fee.
No.
It's the 5.
5, that's right, yeah.
He calls it the fee.
This is a Warden shot here from MattyO, and filters through that right-hand side.
One time.
Oh, man, that's a character and a half.
See if Andrew can go 2 for 2 on the last 2 holes and just a little high. Lots of frustration there.
I would say pretty reserved frustration. It's just a slight mini kick.
Cam able to clean up an easy birdie.
Yeah, it's funny. He was mixing putters this event. He has a PA3 and a Judge. He was alternating holes, which one he would putt with. So it was kind of funny.
Yeah, Cam's been battling injuries with a left shoulder dislocation that's happened several times, and he said it's finally been bugging him too much to even throw, really. I'm assuming by this event he's gotten to maybe 50-60%. But not too many reps had, and so he's probably trying to find what feels most comfortable.
Yeah, again, he has won this event 5 times in the past and has always been a really solid player, but these days just doesn't get to play as much as he used to.
And that moves us into hole 17, a pretty tough par 4, 676 feet, 2 gaps off the tee, either kind of a dead straight shot that finishes left or a hyzer. Then you have to throw through a wall of pine trees. There's not much of a gap there. You kind of have to pick one and then slide it up easily to the basket.
And this one just drifts a little bit too right for Jake Brown. And yeah, it's that wall of trees that really kind of kills me on this hole. I wish we could maybe tweak that a little bit and this hole would be money. But
You want to plant more trees?
no, I'd like to remove one tree. Just one. It's my only complaint on the course. And I think a lot of players feel that way, actually.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
agree.
alone.
I agree. I mean, there's not a defined gap there.
Exactly.
But
So you can throw an excellent tee shot and still just, kind of luck of the draw if you're going to be able to get up to the green.
well, I mean, you can get there, but it's just picking a gap at that point. There's not. They're all about 10 foot apart, so
Yeah.
maybe less. As you see Cam kind of leaking a little right, kicks down to the middle of the fairway, so he should be able to pick one of those not gaps that we were describing and get to the basket.
And this is Matt going with his Julio Jones, which is a Crimson Orbit Rive.
Yes, sir. Oh.
And that was the classic me calling the shot good before it finished, and it ended badly.
Yeah, because like we said, sound waves affect disc flight.
Yeah, from that far away, absolutely. I never thought about it that way. I always thought it was just a superstition, but you're going the sound wave route.
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
physics, bro.
All right. Can't argue with that, actually.
Kind of a weird low release from Marwede here. Pushes pretty straight. So he should have a pretty good forehand from over there, though.
I believe that was Jake Brown pitching out after getting caught up early off the tee. This is Cam with some tricky footing, but he's got to look.
Yeah, it's so tough from over there. One, he had a tree to his left, so he couldn't get a straight-on approach, and then also stepping up to some pine straw. Not surprised to see that shot being difficult to execute.
Jake Brown managed it to make it through the wall.
That's a solid forehand. We haven't seen too
Absolutely.
many of them from him today.
Yeah, I think maybe just hole 13. Maybe one other one. It's a Raider for MattyO, and he does not make it past the
So
wall.
that's the tree you want to cut down?
No, actually. I just want to take the center one down to make the center gap bigger. That's my opinion. Not biased at all.
And pretty tricky from Andrew there, having to back up against the bushes. Throws a great shot, but catches one of the last trees, so that'll give him probably a circle 2 look.
Cam just getting up and down for par. At least that's what his hope is.
Yeah.
Leads through.
Yeah, he's a little disappointed out of his hand because he knew it needed to be more right, but fortunate enough to get through to the basket.
Stepper for Marwede to touch too high. Have to settle for par on this one. I mean, Jake Brown's circle 2 percentage for this round has to be obnoxious.
Yeah, I'm counting him up right now.
It's a lot.
Probably close to 70%.
Oh, yeah. It actually feels bad now because it's like we're not giving it the proper excitement for like how good it is because we've just been seeing it all round long. That's just like, yeah, that's about par for the course for Jake Brown. As you see the rest of the card tap out here. Keep your eye out for that man, ladies and gentlemen. Jake Brown. That's a name to remember for the future.
Everybody cleans up their pars. We'll move into hole 18. Your final hole, obviously, par 5, 894 feet. The shot off the tee is going to be dead straight You can leak left a little bit, passing over the red tee. You want to throw either forehand or just try to pinch through the gap, placing yourself to about right here to give yourself another upshot to the basket. Doesn't really require too much distance, but you definitely want to be on your line on this hole.
Yeah, this is a very demanding par 5 just when it comes to the accuracy requirements.
Miss it? Yes, sir.
And a good shot there from Jake Brown, gets him to where he wants to be.
Even better.
This is, again, Cam getting pretty aggressive with an Emperor here. Going to get as much distance as he can.
Yeah, most of these guys are probably going to throw a fairway, but Cam, wanting to rip on one.
Full Cindy's.
And that he does.
That is a smash.
Boom. Nice shot. Wow.
Yeah, that was just such a good shot. Yeah, as you're talking about fairway driver here for MattyO.
At the Vader.
I think that was a Maverick, and that's why he was a little bit surprised, because the Maverick is kind of known to be a little bit more of a, flippy 7-speed, and so that actually faded out a little bit quicker than you thought it would. Yeah. Back in here from Marwede as well.
Solid.
That's great. We got 4 solid drives down the middle there. Oh, Matt getting sneaky on the right side there. Punching all the way through and getting, wow.
Yeah, dude. We were all struck by that shot. That was his flow. And he got up to the next card that we thought were well clear of any shots that would be coming their way.
Jake looking to match that, and he does so pretty well. Gives him probably about another 200 foot to the basket.
Yeah, I mean, Matt and Brown have put themselves in perfect position to get birdie on this hole. Just one more final approach.
Andrew just a little pinched off. He needs that to go straight, and it gets a fortunate skip off the ground because leaking inside here, you're in the rough. It's pretty misleading.
Yeah, you would think you want to skip left, but in reality, you could get caught up in these left side woods and be in trouble. And this is finally getting the Cam's drive.
Go.
Get sneaky.
Yeah, that was fortunate to not hit anything on the left side. He's only got 120, 130 feet to the basket.
I just want to let you know that we have a chance for a star frame on 18, ladies and gentlemen, and this is not something that you would see too often on this hole. And Marwede's done his part.
MattyO with the Warden here. Just a little easy one-stepper. So Matt's done his part as well.
Yep, that's a drop in for him. So see if the final 2 can do the same.
If Jake would have putted that, he probably would have made it. So.
That's true. I don't know why he didn't putt. I mean, why would you throw a forehand approach from there on your Jake Brown anyway?
And all these guys making this hole look way too easy.
You will not see too many star frames on this hole, I'll tell you that much. And Marwede, who had the longest putt of them all, gets it done. And I think everyone else is dropping in. So, yeah, we are going to finish with all birdies on 18. I can't believe we're saying it.
Yeah, they definitely did not show the teeth of this hole. Very impressive to say the least.
And a very impressive round for Matt. 11 under par here at Admiral. That's going to be very highly rated. And Jake Brown doing well, too, 9 under. And while Cam and Andrew Marwede started slow, they picked it up and got the 6 under par, keeping themselves in the mix. As you can see, they're tied for 13th at this point in time, and Jake Brown is tied for 4th.
Yeah, the 6 downs out there are pretty respectable, but not one that you want to have twice as we play this event or this course in round 3 as well.
Yeah, and so again, folks, we appreciate you joining us here for round 1, and hope that you'll follow and subscribe here at FlexLine to catch the rest of the tournament, as we'll be bringing you round 2 at Municipal Park. Coming up here seriously.